What is up, guys, and welcome to my review of the Hoka Mach 6, which I've recently got. Done about 30-40 miles on this, which is including daily runs, some speed, long runs. I'm going to go over the general facts and figures, and then I'm going to go on to what I like, what I don't like, and then kind of like a general overview of the shoe. Hoka Mach 6, it comes at a price of £140 for the Hoka website. It weighs 235 grams, stack 37 in the heel, and 32 in the forefoot, giving us a 5mm drop, which is quite a nice drop. I find you don't want too high. In the foam, we've got a supercritical EVA foam, so it's not normal, it's supercritical. Don't know what that means, but it feels a bit more bouncy, which I'll get onto. You've got a nice rubber outsole this time. I know previous Mach 4, Mach 5 didn't have this and it wore down on the EVA, but rubber outsole, that's really good. And it doesn't have any plates, no carbon plates, no rods, nothing else, just foam shoe, what you love to see. Okay, starting off with the good. Midsole, what everyone always talks about. This is, as I said, supercritical EVA foam. It's got a nice level of bounce, but also still being quite firm. So at that point as well, you get a kind of stable ride. I've been running in the A6 Nova Plus 4 recently as well. I'll do a comparison in another video. But that shoe has got a much softer midsole, and that means that for daily miles, maybe for recovery runs, it's a bit better, but when you want to pick up the pace, it's a lot harder. And in this, I felt daily runs, it did well because it's got that nice softness, more speedy sessions, it's got that response, and it's still got that bit of firmness, so you really can go long quick. For long run, I did a 30-mile long run with 2 miles of aerobic threshold and a mile at 10k pace, and it held up really well. I was really surprised at how well this held up, and yeah, I'm pretty shocked at how good this is. So another thing that I like is outsole. To be fair, I haven't had too much wet weather running, but the little bits of rain there have been, as well as some ice, which was really weird, but the little bits of rain there have been, outsole's done fine. It's a nice thin outsole, so it's not putting up too much weight, but I think it covers the right areas. And yeah, nothing too special, but I think it's better than having no outsole, which they've done on the previous Machs, and that wore them down a lot quicker. Another like is this heel collar, heel area. It's got a nice solid back, so you feel like you're really locked into the shoe, and it's not like overly padded and plush, but it's got a really nice amount of padding, and it kind of fits my foot quite well. Okay, so another thing that I like about this is the upper, is that you get a really nice lockdown. It's kind of like as if you got a racing shoe on. It's really tight, but there's no pressure areas. You just feel really snug in it, so when you're going a bit quicker, you can really rely on that shoe to stay close to you and not flap about or be loose. So I think the last thing that I'd say is really good for this shoe, maybe last two things, now that I think about it. Laces. I saw a review saying they're not very long. I don't know what shoe they got. My laces have been fine. I always do lace lock or like runner's loop, and I've got enough lace there, so I don't really know what they were talking about. And also, I felt like the upper's been quite breathable. I mean, you can see, you might not be able to see, it's got quite a lot of holes in there, and along the upper anyway, it's got quite a lot of like breathability spots. My foot hasn't felt sweaty or clammy or hot in it, which for other shoes it does. So I think that's a big thing to mention, especially going into summertime. It's a really important thing. Okay, now that we've done the likes, we can get onto the dislikes. originally I bought the normal width of this shoe, and I got it and it was so tight, especially in the forefoot. It was so unbelievably tight, and I have reasonably wide feet, but I've never had a shoe that tight, so I had to send it back and I got the wider version, and it has solved it. But I think that's something to definitely look out for, is that if you have slightly wider feet, I would probably recommend going for the wider option. Another thing I find is a bit uncomfortable is this upper. It's kind of, you can probably hear it, it's quite like rough, scratchy, and in my run the other day, it was only for like the first half, but I felt like my toes were just being jammed up in front of it. And with some shoes that's okay because they've got a nice soft upper, but with this, since it's quite hard, it's quite rough, it is a bit uncomfortable. So hopefully I haven't missed off anything super important. So for a general overview of this shoe, I think it's a good daily trainer. I think you can take it for tempo, for like 5K speed sessions, like that kind of pace. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think you can get away with it. Long runs, I've done 30 miles in this and it felt like really good. I felt like I could cruise in it. I think you could take it to marathon, 20-mile long run, training runs, you know. Racing, I probably wouldn't. You can get other shoes for racing, but again, at a push, you could race in this because it has got that responsive midsole. It's got that stable ride as well, which I haven't mentioned. The sidewalls are quite nice here. So it's got that like inherently stable ride. But yeah, for £140, I think this is a great light daily trainer that can pretty much do it all. And I think this could be like a jack of all trades. And it's really fun to shoe as well. Comes in some nice colorways. I really like this. It's a really nice pop. Goes with my blue colorway kind of thing. But yeah, only thing is, if you got wide feet, get the wide version 100%. And lastly, Hoka offer 30-day try it on and refund. So that's quite an important thing, I think, when trying out shoes. So it's something to take into mind. But yeah, overall, great shoe. Would definitely recommend. And I think I'm going to get a lot of miles out of this, a lot of fun miles out of this.